this should be an interesting live show because that title that you see is correct. Time to air all your grievances. I'm here to listen to your troubles. I mean, if you want advice, I'll try to give you advice. I don't know if it's the best advice in the world, but I'll give it a shot. What are you upset about? Maybe your team did something, or a coach is doing something you don't like, or another team, your rival, you don't like them and you want to talk trash to them. Whatever it is, this is the show for that. If you know the call-in number, you can call the call-in number. If you don't know the call-in number, all you have to do is email me your name and the number that you are going to call from. Joey is operating the Golden Blue Dude in the chat section, so he's going to put up my email, and all you have to do is email, your name, the number you're calling from, and we'll take your call, and whatever's on your mind, whatever you want to complain about, let it rip. It's all good. And don't forget to hit the like button. It helps. It really does help with the video. It gets it suggested more. More people are exposed to it, and they come in, see what's going on. And, of course, a live show, the more people that come, the more interactive it can be. Yeah, it's... I think we have a good live show going on. Now, there for a while, we had to take a break because of COVID and all that other stuff, but we're getting back on track. We're going to have more live call-in shows now that things have kind of died down with the COVID thing that we went through, and just taking a nice big breath. But the thing that I do like in the off season, I know the season is the big thing that we all look forward to as college football fans. But for me, I try to take advantage of the off season because most sports YouTubers, especially if they're covering college football, kind of take it down a notch during the off season, and I try to not do that. So during the off season, I try to keep pumping things out, and that's when I really start trying to gain more and more subscribers. During the off season, I try to take advantage of it. What's going on, bud? You're on with Golden Blue Dude.
How's it going? This is Wisconsin Sports Fan.
Hey, man, what's up?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm great, man. I've had a pretty good week. Can't complain.
Yeah. How do you feel about West Virginia losing to Texas Tech?
Well, I knew that was going to happen, and I actually feel good about it because West Virginia was competitive against Texas Tech, and in my opinion, Texas Tech is arguably the best team in the Big 12 in college basketball right now. I think that they might be better than Baylor. Now, that's debatable, but Texas Tech did beat them head-to-head, and it seems like Texas Tech is getting better and better and better. So I expected West Virginia to lose, but what I saw, the way we were to actually compete, I think we lost by, 12, 13 points? But if you looked at the actual progression of the game, we were in the game pretty much the entire game. Depth kind of kills us in basketball right now, so I'm actually happy about it. I was expecting us to get blown out.
Yeah. I didn't get the chance to watch the game, but Texas Tech is a great basketball team, and the fact that West Virginia kept it inside a 20-point game was pretty impressive to me.
Well, we had the lead there for a second towards the middle of the second half. It was just the depth. Depth killed us. Yeah.
So what do you think about my Marquette Golden Eagles in college basketball? I know that they beat West Virginia. They've got a huge game against Providence at home tomorrow. I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, Marquette's really an up-and-down team. Like you said, they beat West Virginia at our house. But then they've had some head-scratching losses. So if they could be more consistent, they could make a nice tournament run. Providence is a scary team. In fact, I think Providence could win the Big East outright. I think they're better than...
Marquette did beat them earlier.
Yes. But Providence has gotten better and better. Like, if you look at their last 10 games, they've beaten Villanova, they've beaten Creighton, they've beaten pretty much everybody, all the big dogs in the Big East in basketball. So that's the team that I'm looking at in the Big East. So if Marquette can knock them off again, that's going to help with their tournament resume, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think about West Virginia football? I don't know what to expect with how many new guys are coming in. The loss of Letty Brown is huge in my book. I think we underused him last season. He could have helped us a lot more than he did. But what do you think about the recruiting class and all that?
I like the way West Virginia's looking right now. Last year our offense was terrible. I mean, our defense kept us in some games that we should not have been in because we couldn't score. So going into this year, we've seen that even when we lose key players on defense, that our defense is going to be all right. We weren't elite in 2021, but we didn't drop off dramatically like we were in 2020. We were elite in 2020, not last year, but we were pretty good. So we're not losing a bunch of key pieces on defense. Dante Stills has come back, so I expect our defense to be just fine, if not better. Our offense, I think what we see in 2022 is going to be completely different than what we've seen in the past year. Graham Harrell runs an air raid offense. I think we'll be able to actually stretch the field. That was our biggest issue. I think Nico Marco is a better quarterback. Now, he hasn't proven himself in college, so that remains to be seen. But I like what I've seen from him, and I think he's a better quarterback than Jarrett Doege. And I know that some of our starters entered the transfer portal, but the same West Virginia fans complained about those starters and that bad offense during the regular season. So if you don't want that offense, then it's a good thing they're entering the transfer portal, I would think. But now they're whining about that. So some people you just can't please. I'm fine with it. I think our offense is going to be much better. And if our defense is the way I think it's going to be, West Virginia is going to be an 8-4, 9-3 team. It's the schedule that really kind of makes me hesitate on that prediction. That's the only thing.
Yeah, over at Wisconsin, my other favorite college football team, for anyone who doesn't know in the chat, Braylon Allen, he, I think, just turned 18, and he had 100 yards. I think he has the record for most 100-yard games in a freshman season for Wisconsin. He passed Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to be really good for the Badgers. What do you think of him so far?
You know, I don't want to say too much because I haven't done my research about him, but whenever I start doing my predictions, I'll definitely give my input on that. I promise you.
Yeah. So, in general, what do you think about West Virginia making the tournament? What do you think about West Virginia and what they could do next year in college football?
As far as the tournament goes, I think I think our ceiling's a Sweet 16. That's if we get good matchups. We don't have one of our better teams. I think they're tenacious, they're fighters, but we just don't have the athletes to make a deep run. So I do think West Virginia ends up in the tournament. We might be on the bubble there for a while, but I think we may make tournament. Ceiling, Sweet 16, but more realistically, we're probably out in the first or second round. College football, it's the schedule that's the biggest hang-up for me. But if you look back at our record last year, I know we finished season 6 and 7, but 4 of those losses were 50-50 football games. If we can flip a few of those 50-50s, then we're an 8-4, 9-3 team. And I think with our offense, picking up Graham Harrell as offensive coordinator, I think we can flip those 2 games and end up 8-4. So I'm liking the direction in both programs are taking right now.
Yeah, I saw in the chat right here, Robbie, this call is great. If you want more of me by chance, over in a little bit, we're going to be over on Sorgy Stories. I will be doing a reaction to Packers 49ers, so check that out. But this man right here, I'm so happy to see you grow from, I was here, at 800, I think?
Yeah, you were pre-1000 for sure.
And I've loved seeing the channel grow. As a West Virginia fan, this is a spot for West Virginia fans to connect. I hope to get to a game finally this coming year, maybe the Backyard Brawl. It's only 5 hours from here in Philly. So
nice.
I'm hoping to get to that. I'm hoping to get to Morgantown. I'll let someone else call in, but talk to you later.
All right, bud. Good call, man. Good call. We'll see you.
Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, for a youngster, he's got the gift of gab. I'm telling you, he's gonna have a career in some type of I don't know, announcing or his YouTube channel. I think it's gonna have a future in that. So that was a great call. Sorgy, Wisconsin fan, leave your YouTube name in the stream that you're doing. I think I can say it, but I can't spell it right. So you might as well just put it in the chat because I can. Yeah, Sorgy Stories. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correct. It might be Sorgy. I don't know, but that's how you spell it. If you want to go follow Wisconsin. So we got some other people wanting the. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta check my email because we got other people wanting the call-in number. Give me 1 second. One thing that I hate about phones is the autocorrect thing, and it makes you have to type something 20 times. I hate that. All right, so. All right, there you go. And recently I've been doing, I've been ranking the schedules of conferences. I've done the SEC, the Big 12, and I did the Big 10 today, and it's gotten some positive reaction. I'm going to do the ACC, but the thing is, the ACC hasn't released their schedule for this year, so I don't know it, so I can't do a ranking for the ACC. But as soon as that happens, I will. Of course, I'll cover the Pac-12, and I will get to the Group of Five, but I'll probably lump those in together instead of doing one conference per video. Yes, you're on with Golden Blue, dude.
What's up, GVD?
Hey, man, what's up?
Nothing much, man. Just calling in to talk a little West Virginia sports, dude.
All right, man. What you want to talk about?
Well, I guess we should start off with the exciting hiring of Graham Harrell, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited about that.
So, I mean, like you said, or as we both know, you know, coming from a big powerhouse school from like USC to West Virginia, I mean, I guess, you know, I'm interested to see what he'll do with the quarterback room. And I guess I just wanted a little bit more of your take on who you think gets the start and who puts us in the best position to win.
Well, you know, I'm a member of a lot of Facebook groups. So I was talking about Graham Harrell coming to West Virginia in USC groups. That's where he came from. And they're like, oh, good riddance. We didn't like him. He had terrible play calling in the red zone, blah, blah, blah. And I do think that Lincoln Riley is going to upgrade the offense. But if you go back and look at the stats, the offense was not the problem at USC. They were a top 20 offense consistently under Graham Harrell. And there was a couple of years, and I believe one of them was with Keaton Slovis, they were close to being a top 10 offense. And that's another thing that I think is going to help West Virginia in the backyard brawl. Keaton Slovis transferred to Pitt, and Graham Harrell is the guy that knows Keaton Slovis the most when it comes to football, especially at the college level. So I think that's going to benefit as well. But the thing for our quarterback position, I'm hearing a lot of talk from Graham Harrell about Will Crowder. And West Virginia fans have kind of forgotten about him because we really didn't see much of him. So a dark horse in this quarterback competition might be Will Crowder. Now, at the same time, we're going to see a totally different offense than what we saw last year. Graham Harrell likes to stretch the field. He likes to use misdirection whenever there's deficiencies at the offensive line. And guess what? Last year, there was some big-time deficiencies in the offensive line. So we're going to see a lot of misdirection. Not sure what the running game is going to look like. We did lose Letty Brown, but we did get Lynn J. Dixon from Clemson. And we already have Tony Mathis. Now, Tony Mathis, he's the shifty one, and Lynn J's the downhill runner. So we do have thunder and lightning. I'm excited about that as well.
So what's cool about Tony Mathis is he actually went to high school for me here in Georgia, maybe 15 minutes down the road. So super, super good running back. I'm excited to see what his future holds at West Virginia.
Yeah.
And the one thing I want to say about the fact that Neil Brown, finally swallowed his pride and gave up the play calling duties. I think that says a lot about him, man. I mean, I'm a big Neil Brown guy. I want him to succeed in Morgantown. I think he's doing things the right way. I know you feel the same way about him.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see what Nico will bring to the table, man. I hope he's not overhyped. I hope that he's everything that we've made him out to be. But you're right, man. Goose is definitely somebody that's underrated in that quarterback room, and I'm excited to see what he'll do this offseason. I think he'll develop a lot.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the backyard brawl, man, what a game that we're going into, dude. I mean, like you've been saying in your videos, we're gonna sell out Heinz Field. So it'll be a great game, and I think that our out of conference schedule is up there with anybody in the country this year. So I mean, I know you've already made a video about it, but maybe like expand a little bit on how you feel about the Pitt game and like what it really means to us.
Yeah, and that's why I put West Virginia's strength of schedule at number 3 in the Big 12, because our out-of-conference games, well, number one, they're both on the road, and number two, they're our two biggest rivals. We have to go to Pitt, and then 4 weeks later, we have to go to Virginia Tech. So we really challenged ourselves this year, and the backyard brawl is whatever team you're a fan of, the biggest rival on your schedule, that's what Pitt is to us. So if you're an Alabama fan, that's like not playing Auburn for a decade. If you're a Clemson fan, that's like not playing South Carolina for a decade. If you're a Michigan fan, that's like not playing Ohio State for a decade. That is our biggest rival, and we are Pitt's biggest rival as well. It's not just one-sided. Now, I've been blessed and fortunate during my lifetime. We've dominated Pitt. Now, the all-time series, they lead by 21 games, but all that damage happened back in the 60s and 70s and some in the 50s. But I was born in 82, and we hold a big majority lead as far as wins on Pitt. I think it's something like 18-6 or 18-7. It's pretty sizable. Yep. So I'm pretty happy. I was born in the right time period to be a West Virginia fan. But we're one of those fan bases where our team is a top 20 team historically, but we don't get to the national championship or playoffs consistently to make it, to make it count.
We're the winningest program in college football. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we're the winningest program in college football history that does not have a title.
Yes, that is 100% correct. But if you look at Alabama, how many times have they been to the playoffs? All but like 2. Now, see, that's our problem. We don't get there enough.
7 out of 15 they've won or something like that, and like you said in your video, it's like, does that even? I mean, I feel like that just takes away the freaking special, like the feeling that you get when you. Of course, I don't know because we never won one.
Yeah, well, to me, it would be like, it would hurt worse by not winning it because of the expectations. So they feel the hurt when they don't win it, but when they do win it, it's like, all right, now we're going to try to do it again next year. So to me, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a very happy existence because you don't enjoy the national championship when you win it. But when you don't win it, it hurts worse.
Yeah. I guess one more question for you. So there's like this narrative, or maybe just something that I've seen going around on the Twitterverse and then West Virginia world, but people starting to say that the offensive side of the game has kind of went past Bob Huggins. The game has passed him by. What's your thoughts on that?
No, if you look at it, West Virginia does not recruit like the Blue Bloods, but for some reason, we're in contention every stinking year. Like, I don't understand why people are saying that. They're saying, well, I do understand. They're saying that because they want us to be a Duke. They want us to be, an elite team year after year after year. That's not how West Virginia is. Bob Huggins is maximizing what he gets. We recruit at a decent level, but we're not a blue blood. We don't recruit in the top 20s and top 10s consistently. We might get one every once in a while, but that's just not how we recruit. So fans that are saying that they're insane. He actually makes great adjustments. He looks at his talent. He figures out what our strengths and what our weaknesses are, and he kind of tools the game plan according to what we have. So I don't understand people that are saying that. I mean, whenever Bob Huggins retires and whoever his replacement is going to be, people will be sorry that they said that. I promise you that. They will be sorry because West Virginia is going to struggle at least for a couple years until we adjust. Now, whether we can get back to the level he has us at right now, I don't know. But Bob Huggins maximizes what West Virginia gets. So I don't understand those people.
Well, I appreciate your time, Don't Blued. If you guys aren't subscribed already, definitely hit that subscribe button. Man's got a great channel. Head over to the Patreon account. And thanks for talking to me, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Have a good one. Man, some great callers. The crazy thing is, we advertised this as air your grievances, and it's actually turned out to people being happy. So I'll take it. But still, if you have some gripes, you can call in and talk about those as well. It's either way is fine. So if Bob Huggins is a joke, then what does that make Pitt? Because we just keep whooping Pitt in basketball year after year after year. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense. John Waffle H2P, which means hell to Pitt. I will say that. I'm not above that. Thank you, sir, for the $4.99 super chat. He says Baylor didn't recruit like Duke. Look what they did. Yeah, but it's kind of they have recently. Historically, no, but recently, yes. I mean, look at their recent recruiting classes. It's pretty stinking good, and they have excellent depth. And they're actually having one of their down years, and they're still legit. I don't think Baylor's going to win the national championship in basketball this year, but for a down year, you can't beat what Baylor's doing. Baylor's becoming a really good sports athletic university, period. I mean, they're doing great in football right now. They're doing great in basketball right now. Something is cooking down there in Waco, and whatever they're cooking, the players are eating it up, and they're having a lot of success in all the major sports. So, I mean, whatever you're doing, Baylor, keep doing it because it's working. Baylor could be on the hunt for a national championship, real soon. Well, they got one in basketball. I'm talking football. That's crazy when you really think about it. Baylor won a national championship in basketball, and with a 12-2 record last year, if they improve on that's national championship territory. Now, personally, I don't think anybody's beating Alabama next year. I just don't. This year was their down year, in my opinion. I made that prediction before the season started. I said that they were going to grab a loss in the regular season and the SEC championship. And they should have lost in the SEC championship, but Georgia laid down for them. Yes, sir, you're on with Golden Blue Dude.
It's Talk Pitt.
Hey, man, what's up? Hey, by the way, that was a great We Are Golden Blue Dude clip that you sent in. One of the better ones.
Yeah, I was just pulling your chain. I was gonna, for sportsmanship purposes, I was gonna send it in anyway.
I hear you. But hey, let all the people know out there that this whole clip thing of sending me the We Are or I Am Golden Blue Dude, it's not about West Virginia. It's about representing this YouTube channel. It's nothing to do with West Virginia.
Yeah, guys, if you are paying attention, it's not trying to trash talk any other football team, basketball team, whatever your sports teams may be. It's just trying to bring everyone together. It missed, college football fans.
Exactly. And letting everybody know who we are.
No, definitely. I am never going to physically say what you want me to say unless there's something on the line.
Right.
But so there was a conversation me and you had on your channel about, or actually that was on the West Virginia Mark Rogers channel, and it's nothing against you, it's him that bothers me, saying that recruits aren't impressed with Heinz Field, which is actually the biggest reason why we even get recruits in the first place.
Maybe he meant the crowd atmosphere.
That's the problem. A lot of them don't want to come here because there isn't just that big of a crowd, and I get that.
Right.
But like I said to you before, we're not the only Division I college football team within the city of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there's like what, 6?
Yeah, so I mean, you got a variety of college football fan bases. Now, am I upset that we can't fill a stadium? To an extent. Do I care? To an extent. But, as long as my team does good, I don't care if it's just me in the stands, 10,000 Pitt fans in the stands, and whatnot. I just want Pitt not to suck.
That makes sense.
And we finally did that this year. But
won the ACC. I mean, I mean, that's saying a
We're
lot.
not paper champions. We're not paper champions, so people can stop calling us that.
Right.
That does piss me off.
Yep.
Like, if West Virginia won it, I'd have no choice but to, show respect and be like, okay, you're the champs. But it's Heinz Field is not even 2 miles away from Pitt campus.
Hey, hold on one second. Hold on. Bengals just intercepted Tannehill. They drove down to the Tennessee 34 timeout. 9 seconds left. Are they going to take a shot or go for the game-winning field goal? I'm going to keep my eye on that. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Just updating.
So,
Bengals, my NFL team.
Yeah. So, you're a Cincinnati fan?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
No.
I don't know how that happened because some West Virginia. I mean, we don't have a professional team, so some West Virginia fans are Pittsburgh Steelers fans, the Washington football team fan. You know what I'm saying? And Tennessee, there's been some Tennessee fans, Cleveland fans. It just depends on what part of the state. And I was kind of born in the west central part of the state. So yeah, Cincinnati fan. Anthony Zappin with the $5 super chat. Of course, he's going to make me say it. Let's go Herd. But you know I don't mean that, right? You already know I don't mean that.
We were actually supposed to play Marshall during the COVID year.
Yep.
And that got canceled, and I was looking forward to that game because we've only played Marshall once. And I'm like, we played West Virginia over 100 times, and we've only played Marshall once. I mean, I know that's not your rival. Marshall can say whatever they want. It's just they don't have a rival.
Exactly. And, we've only played them 12 times, and we've whipped them 12 times. There was that one time in I think it was 2010, and they had a chance to beat us. All they had to do was not fumble the ball, and then they fumbled, and then everything that we needed to... You know what, guys, in the chat, when this live show is over with, you need to Google Marshall versus West Virginia 2010. You will not believe the ending to that game. Marshall should have won that game. I'm just going to say it. They should have won it, but they choked it away. But either way, we're 12-0, and I'm happy about it. They're not a rival. Marshall fans can say whatever they want, but Pitt and Virginia Tech, those are our rivals, not Marshall.
Well, we definitely created a rival with Wake Forest because ever since the ACC championship game, they are just relentlessly pissed off. I mean, Twitter, YouTube.
Did he make it? Hold on. I think he made it. 52-yard field goal with 4 seconds left. Yes, sir. Cincinnati headed to the AFC playoffs, baby.
Yes. I'm only wishing Cincinnati because they got a Pitt player on their team.
Oh, I hear you. So who are they going to be playing in the AFC Championship? Who's on the other side? It was Buffalo or...
It's either going to be Buffalo or Kansas City.
Okay, that's who's playing tomorrow, right? Buffalo and Kansas City. Yeah, Bills and Chiefs. Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully, let me see here. No, even if the Bills win, we'd still have to go to Buffalo. But hey, that's all right. I think we have a better matchup with Buffalo anyways. But dadgummit, Cincinnati, that's crazy. I never thought that I'd see Cincinnati win a playoff game, and now they're in the freaking AFC Championship. That's insane. Man, if they go to the Super Bowl, I might have a live show for the first time ever for the Super Bowl. And I'm a college football YouTube channel. I never thought I would ever do that. But you know what? I never thought that I'd see Cincinnati in the Super Bowl, and we're only one game away. That's insane, man.
Weird things have happened. Like, even more weird things have happened, and I'll give you one. I never thought I'd consider you a friend.
Exactly. If somebody would have said as shortly as 2 years ago that I'd have a Pitt fan, I would be like, yeah, you're insane. How much did that Pitt fan have to pay me to be his friend? That's what I would have said.
Well, it's actually funny, though, because a lot of you guys don't know a good chunk, and when I mean a good chunk, about 30 to 40% of my family is from West Virginia or they're West Virginia fans. I'm actually the only Pitt fan in my family.
Man, bless your heart. Man.
And, it's great. It's great. I mean, because with West Virginia, fans and Pitt fans that are related, it's worse.
Yeah. Well, people don't realize there's a big chunk of West Virginia fans in the city of Pittsburgh. It's not just Pitt fans.
It's not. It's Pitt, Penn State, West Virginia. Then you got Duquesne, which actually, ironically, you guys played Duquesne in football in a couple of years.
Yeah, that was 2015, 2016.
Yeah, well, you play them.
We played them again in 2024, 25. Couple years.
You guys have already played Duquesne before?
Yeah, I'm thinking we did. I know we play them in the future, but I'm pretty sure we played them. It might be farther back than I thought. You know what? Hold on. Let me see.
I have my laptop right here.
Yeah. Well, whoever finds it first. How about that? I'm not really trying to race you. Oh, there we go. Did we? Well, maybe not. I thought we did. Son of a bee.
Yeah, no. Actually, this would be the first
Yeah,
ever
that's
meeting.
the first time. Who knows?
You guys should destroy them because they're FCS.
Right. But I was thinking we had played them in the past whenever we were in the Big East.
Yeah,
I can't even remember the conference we used to be in. The Big East.
Yeah, Big East. And that's the weird thing. I know a lot of people are calling you fraud and fake and a liar for, not really, in their words, producing evidence that, West Virginia is going to the ACC. But look at how West Virginia's schedule is set up for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
They're playing every single former Big East team in the next 10 years.
Well, the thing that I've been trying to explain to people, and I'm done explaining it because people can believe whatever they want. I don't care. I would have not made those videos had these people who are part of ACC coaching staffs not told me what they told me. I would have never made one because that's a pure guessing game and you're putting yourself out there and you could be wrong. But, I talked to 4 different people on 4 different coaching staffs at 4 different times and they were all saying the same thing and they didn't know that I was talking to somebody else. So everybody was backing each other up without even knowing it. So, people can talk all the crap they want. I'm not even worried about it. They can call me a fake, a fraud, oh, you're trying to dupe your subscribers, this and that. Whatever. Get it all out because I know what's up.
Exactly. Well, see, here's the thing. I said from the start, West Virginia, they're not going to succeed. They may have one good season, which that has already happened.
Yep.
They may have one good season in the Big 12. And then the rest will be like, I don't want to say like Pitt, but
fish out of water. Fish out of water.
I never thought you guys belonged in the Big 12. If anything, if you didn't move to the ACC, you should have moved to the Big 10.
Yeah. Well, look at it. There's 3 SEC, ACC, Big 10. All 3 of those better options. There's only one conference that would have been a worse choice than the Big 12, and that would have been the Pac-12. So we literally chose the second worst conference for us, not in general, but as far as where we fit. And it's been horrible. I haven't liked it at all. I'm just gonna be honest. I haven't liked it.
I don't like the success that we have accomplished because I feel that it's just luck, straight up luck. However, the more I look at it, before I get off here, the more I look at it, there's several things that we have done that other teams in the ACC have not. 2 big facts. Pat Narduzzi is the only coach that beat Dabo Swinney twice in the regular season.
That's right. Yep.
And Pitt has more ACC titles than Miami.
Oh, that is just sad. The Hurricanes used to be dominating. They are a train wreck. I thought that they should have fired Manny Diaz and hired Tom Herman. I thought he would have been a perfect fit. I think he's still a good coach. I think Texas fired him too soon. Look at year 1 under Steve Sarkisian. And he has that swag that Miami uses to recruit. You are what you are. And Miami's identity is swag. So you need a coach that has swag. And I do think that Tom Herman would have the swag for Miami to succeed. I mean, that's just my opinion on that.
I thought they should have fired Diaz whenever Kenny Pickett beat him his freshman year.
Yep. I
He
agree.
should have been gone then.
It was a questionable hire right off the bat. I didn't like it at all. I was like, man, you guys are really lowering your standards for head coach. It made no sense.
Well, you do know we hired an offensive coordinator.
What's the name?
Frank Signetti Jr.
I didn't know that. Where's he from?
He's actually from Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh guy. He was actually our offensive coordinator in 2009 and 2010. Now, 2009 was the year that we last beat West Virginia, because we beat them. No, it wasn't. It was 2007 and 2008, and then from 2009 up, you guys beat us.
Yep.
But
like,
he was the last offensive coordinator where we had, besides Quadre Olison and Darren Hall, was one of the last offensive coordinators where both our receivers had 1,000 yards and our running back had 1,000 yards. Great season in 2009. Actually, that was the last time we won 10 games.
Yep.
So,
well, besides this year.
Yeah, besides this year. So it's a great hire and whatnot. I personally think our offense is going to be better. I'm glad Mark Whipple is gone.
I agree.
He refused to run the ball. And clearly, I mean, I don't know how much of our running backs you have been able to, watch this year, but when a running back who's 6 feet, 220 pounds, like our running back is, and can still run a 4.5, and you don't run him up the middle on 3rd and 1.
Yeah.
It
but I will say, I think Nebraska. I think he will be successful in Nebraska. I think he is what they need. He wasn't what y'all needed.
No, he's not what we needed, but he's what they needed.
Right.
And plus, he stole a couple of our potential recruits. Now,
right.
We were originally going after Chubba Purdy from Florida State.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But we ended up going with, to be honest, in my opinion, a better option. Now, I know you got Graham Harrell. That's definitely going to go against us. But don't think for one second Keaton Slavis won't tell the Pitt defensive coordinators what Graham Harrell is all about.
Right. It's going to be an interesting chess match.
Oh, it's going to be
really
a
think so.
It's probably going to be, I'd have to look back, but it's probably going to be the highest scoring backyard brawl.
Yeah, you might be right. I might have to bring my brass knucks. Hey, just remember, if a fight breaks out, I know you got to stick. I know you got to stick with your. I know you got to stick with your Pitt fans, but.
No, I got your back. I'm not doing that. I'm not letting that happen.
I got
Especially
you, man.
because you're a dad, I'm a dad, and
exactly.
If something were to happen to you and your kids couldn't have the life that they deserve with you, I wouldn't forgive myself. I wouldn't.
I hear you.
I'm not letting them. See, that's why I'm trying to pay for both the tickets, so we can kind of sit there, sit somewhere that's not going to be so. I might have to
volatile.
Pull out my shank.
Yeah. And the people in the comment section, we're not playing. Like, we're really discussing this because we got to have a plan going into this game. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be bad because as soon as the first Pitt fan sees the first West Virginia fan, it's all over.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm going to let you go because I'm going to start doing some notes for my next video on YouTube.
Okay, man.
I'm going to be doing a video on the hire of Frank Signetti for the OC position, and I'm also going to be doing another video on the transfer portal because I think Pitt needs to go to the portal to get a tight end.
And Joey says you need to buy 3. He wants to go 2.
You need to buy 3? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, that's fine. Everybody knows Pitt. Well, no, not for the backyard brawl. They're not going to be cheap. There ain't no damn way.
Yeah. Well, if you can grab them together, and then we'll take care of our part. We just need to try to get them as close together as possible.
Definitely. But I'll let you go so you can get somebody else on here. It was nice talking to you, brother.
You too, bud. Thanks for calling.
Later.
Good call. Later. See, that's proof right there that a West Virginia fan and a Pitt fan can get along. Now, That doesn't mean that me and him don't talk trash to each other. We do it all the time. But we also recognize that, he's a human being and I'm a human being. But, when it comes to the backyard brawl, we will be on separate, as far as team interests, we'll be on separate sides of the fence. So it's gonna be really, really fun. I thought it was interesting that Ohio State scheduled Notre Dame. Um, I didn't look in the future, but is that a home and home? Because I believe Notre Dame is coming to the Horseshoe for that first game, so that's going to be an interesting first game right there. Hey, you're on with Going to Blue, dude.
I'm Preston.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Not much. I'm gonna be one of your guys that airs his grievances.
Okay, yeah, let her rip.
Why are we hiring Graham Harrell?
Well, because we need an actual offense. The biggest issue we had last year was play calling, and Neil Brown, he tried play calling there for a while, but he's got way too much responsibility to do that effectively. So he tried to hand it over to Jared Parker, and Jared Parker, he's good with practices, but he's not good at play calling. So basically, it was to fill the need of somebody to call some good plays because our offense has been stinking stagnant. Horrible. So we needed somebody that can throw some flair in there. And I think Graham Harrell is a pretty good choice.
I guess what my grievance with Harrell is, he's not wanted at a Pac-12 program, at a premier program. Now, I get West Virginia is an all-winningest program, but we have a fan base, but we're not USC.
That's true.
Okay. If they want rid of him and he's a descendant of a coach that coached him to the point of being a Heisman candidate, and we also forget that Dana Holgerson aired from Leach. He was on that Texas Tech staff, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct.
Why are we trying to run Dana Holgerson again? Because, yeah, it was fine when we had Will Greer. We struggled with Skylar Howard.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, here's the thing. I think USC fans are trying to misguide us West Virginia fans because it's not that USC ran Graham Harrell off. It's Lincoln Riley was hired, and Lincoln Riley was bringing in his guys, and there was simply no room for Graham Harrell. He wasn't fired per se. It was he wasn't one of Lincoln Riley's boys, so there wasn't enough room at the table for Graham Harrell. If you look at USC's offenses under Graham Harrell, they've actually been pretty good. Worst ranking under Graham Harrell was like 24th. Like, that was worst ranking. And I believe it was 2019 or 2018, they were actually number 11, close to being top 10. So I actually think he's a pretty good hired offensive coordinator. Now, for Dana Holgerson, the issue with him is he didn't want to put out the effort to recruit at a decent level. On his way out, he even trash talked West Virginia, saying West Virginia will never be able to recruit at a decent level, and they'll never be able to bring in the best recruits even out of the state of West Virginia. And Neil Brown's already proven that wrong. For the third year in a row, we've kept the best recruit from the state of West Virginia at West Virginia University. So here's the combo that I'm looking at. Neil Brown recruiting at a high level for West Virginia, and now finally we have somebody that is competent at play calling. So we've been missing one ingredient or the other. Now with Dana Holgerson, it was recruiting. We were missing that ingredient. All right, so we moved on to Neil Brown. So with Neil Brown, it was the play calling. Well, now we have both. We have the play calling and the recruiting. So I think we have the right formula to at least be contenders in the Big 12 at least every once in a while, instead of, these 6-7 and 7-5 and 8-4s. We need to get back to winning 10 games at least every 3 years. I mean, that's not too much to ask, right?
Right. Here's my thing, though. I'm going to use a basketball analogy.
Okay.
Because I'm a younger fan. You can probably tell.
Oh, yeah.
There was a coach before Bob Huggins. He just didn't fit. I like Neil Brown. He seems like an awesome guy. He seems like someone as a player's coach. I just don't think he works, and I think he'll be out of here after this year, just simply because my issue with him is he's brought a great defense. I thought that Jordan Leslie was an ace DC hire because he's basically running Clemson's defense that basically stalemated Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, so he hit a home run on the DC. Here's my issue with this goes back to Graham Harrell. Lincoln Riley also was a coach, and I may be wrong on this. Might have even played for Leach. I could be wrong.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I think Leach and had Lord, what's Arizona's Cardinals coach? Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury. That is correct.
Okay, they're all under that wing, which Cliff moved on to the NFL.
Yep.
That's one of Lincoln's former teammates or fellow coach. Why is he getting ran off? And then why are we still keeping Matt Moore? We have Wyatt Milam, who I think if he can play better, will be a first-round pick in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head. The problem is our offensive line. So I think it's Matt Moore's job that's on the line more as of right now. Now, if West Virginia doesn't take a step forward this year, then it's going to be Neil Brown's job on the line. But because of the extension by Shane Lyons, he's not necessarily on the hot seat right now. But if he doesn't perform this year, he will be. So where West Virginia goes from here all depends on this one season coming up in 2022. Now, having said that, if you go back and look at the 2021 college football season, and I mentioned this earlier, yes, our final record was 6-7, right? But out of those 7 losses, 5 of them were 50-50 football games, or 4 of them. So if we could flip half of those, that's an 8-win season. If we could flip all of those, we're talking about a 10-win season. So we're not as far away from that as people realize. There's 4 steps, and Bobby Bowden said this. There's 4 steps to rebuilding a program. Step 1, you're getting beat tremendously day in, day out. That was 2019. We were bad. Step 2, you start playing close ball games. You don't necessarily win them, but at least you're in it at the end. Step 3, you start winning those close ball games. And step 4, you start dominating. Right now, we need to take the step from being in those close ball games to winning those close ball games. That's the next step that West Virginia needs to take. And if that happens, we could see a 10-win season sooner rather than later. But this is the year to see that.
Well, I'm gonna air another grievance. This is the one I've been thinking about more than anything. I think Coos talked about it. So we know Texas and Oklahoma is leaving. They're pretty much gone.
Yep.
And we're bringing UCF and Cincinnati. But Cincinnati's a good move. I think Cincinnati can be a perennial playoff contender.
Yep.
Okay. Because we tried hiring Luke Fickell. I don't know whether you remember that being a story.
Yeah,
that was our first pick.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, a lot of people tried there for a while.
Well, the other thing, though, too, is we're bringing all these teams in, and we're trying to do a scheduling alliance.
Yep.
Issue with doing a scheduling alliance, to me. You do a scheduling alliance with the Pac-12, you're going out west. Which is we already have issues going to the Midwest traveling.
I don't like it either, man. I know exactly what you're talking about there. You really need to hit that one, man. I'm gonna let you take the mic on that because I don't like it either.
So this just drives me nuts. So we're already having to drive down to Texas, play a lot of these tough road games, and we've already probably created a mortal enemy down in Texas.
For sure, yeah.
Texas Tech has our number.
Well, recently.
Yeah. And Oklahoma just annihilates us. And that's just on offense. And defense, they usually going to keep us. What in the world are they going to do with a defensive coach?
Yeah. That's going to be interesting.
And then Baylor, you got the guy that called a top 25 defense. in a 2019 national championship as a head coach.
Yep.
And then we got UCF coming in. They've got Gus Malzahn. He's won a national championship at Auburn.
Good point. Yep.
And then you got a guy that's gave Alabama and Nick Saban all they can handle. And then you got BYU.
And don't forget about Holgerson, our ex-head coach. We got to play him too.
But Holgerson, as messed up as it is at how he left, he landed in a pile of gold.
Yeah, he did. And a lot of people don't understand his exit. What happened was he asked for a raise. He thought he had done enough for a raise, and West Virginia said nah, and Houston gave him the raise that he was looking for at West Virginia. So he's making a butt ton of money over there at Houston. Yes, gold mine. He struck it.
And on top of that, he's got and I don't mean this to offend fellow WVU fans, Houston's a lot more attractive than Morgantown.
Yep, I agree with that.
So he's got his recruiting.
Well, and it's not just that. It's Houston is in a hotbed of high school talent. The fact that Holgerson is a lazy recruiter doesn't matter at Houston because he can be lazy because the talent's right there.
I mean, good Lord. I think me and my buddy looked and it was like 50 out of 100 of the top 100 recruits were in Texas.
Yep.
So the farthest he's maybe got jobs, 4 hours.
Yep.
Okay, but I'm going to get back to the location things because this is what drives me nuts. Okay. We're already going to struggle against our own conference because I don't think we're leaving for the ACC. I just don't see it happening.
Fair enough.
Because I think we're in a Rich Rod situation again. I think Brown, if he does do good, we're going to stay good, and then they're going to want to stay in the conference, and then Brown's going to leave. Because I see Mark Stoops, or I think it's Mark Stoops, retiring here soon.
Kentucky.
I see him going to UK.
Yeah, that's the one team that I would say confidently that Neil Brown would leave West Virginia for Kentucky. Yes, I agree.
Right. And then on top of that, we can't even win our own conference. We got potential head coaching drama in our future. And you want us to go to Oregon? You want us to go to Alabama? You want us to go down there in a stinky swamp in New Orleans and play LSU?
Yep.
And then we got to play Georgia on an off chance.
And the thing that you're trying to put together is if we were in a conference like Big Ten, SEC, or ACC, it wouldn't be a big deal because some teams do have that long road trip out west, one time a year. But for us, we're already in the Big 12. We're already making, frequent flyer miles, and now we're having to add on to that because of this alliance thing. It's going to wear us out. We are not Alabama. We are West Virginia, and we're not as deep as an Alabama or a Clemson to make trips like that all the time and be successful. It's just not.
This is. I don't think this will be very surprising. I don't get why we've kept Shane Lyons.
I don't know. That one's a riddle. Riddle me this. I don't know.
My issue with Shane Lyon is, to me, it feels like he's done everything to reverse progress, and then we make it, and then something seems to happen with that coach. We're players. Because I don't know whether you remember this. Because this is probably when I started watching WVU. Geno Smith.
Yep.
All that drama about his draft combine and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember.
Remember who started that?
That was crazy, and that actually wasn't too long ago. What, 5, 6, maybe 7 years at most, something like that. I don't know.
Okay, and then on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, right when Lyons gets hired is when Rich Rod leaves. And a lot of people don't understand when Rich Rod leaves, and I didn't know this for years. Rich Rod didn't want to raise. I think he was probably going to stay at West Virginia for as long as he could, because I think he found his spot.
That's a fact.
Because I think coaches like Saban has this, Kirby Smart now has this. I think Scott Frost will have this. I don't see them getting rid of him if they haven't already. I don't keep up with Nebraska. They just have their coaches. Pete Carroll was that way at USC. He left for an NFL job.
Yep.
He went to get raised for his assistants.
Yes, and West Virginia did not want to fit the bill. Yes. And that's why I try to explain that to West Virginia fans, because some West Virginia fans still hate Rich Rod to this day. I'm like, y'all don't understand the circumstances as to why he left. He wasn't like, oh, screw this, I'm going to make more money. He wanted his assistants to make more money, and West Virginia declined. I don't understand that. I don't understand why we turned that down. We had something great going. We were making a ton of money because we were going to BCS bowls. So it's not like we didn't have the money to spare. That one lack of decision making, I relive that nightmare on a daily basis. Why were we not willing to pony up the dough to keep a great coaching staff? That pisses me off. I'm not going to lie. Every time I think about that, that ticks me off. We could still be sustaining something great if they would have made that one good decision, and they didn't do it.
Right. And then the other thing, too, that this drives me nuts, because I was thinking about this last night. Oliver Luck is probably one of our best alumni.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
He was probably one of our best quarterbacks.
Yep. Debatable, but yeah.
He had a son that was a phenom.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And we missed on him.
Ended up being a pretty good NFL quarterback, too.
He would have. I think we'd be talking about Andrew Luck winning rings, and I don't know, everyone's going to think I'm crazy. Winning rings, winning MVPs, and going to the Hall of Fame. I think that's how good Andrew Luck was. He just got hurt. Man, I'm starting to get depressed, man. You're depressing me. You missed out. Yeah. We missed out on a phenom. And then I feel like we screwed up again because, I don't know whether you remember this a couple years ago. We were in the running for Joe Burrow in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
We were trying to talk him in because we knew that Urban ran him off, which I think is funny because of how Joe left for LSU, and then we see how Urban is in the NFL.
Yep.
And then you got Tebow. That's a weird one.
Air your last part of your grievance. We're up against 8 o'clock, so I'm about to get off here.
All right. I'll let you go, man.
All right, hey, good phone call, man. But yeah, a lot of the stuff I can relate to with what you said, and it's crazy because I kind of forgotten about some of the stuff, and now that you brought it back up, like I can feel the disappointment and anger that I felt the day it happened. So that's some pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff, man.
All right. Well, thank you.
Good job. Good job, man. Keep calling in. All right.
I will.
All right, bud. See you. Well, he did what I asked him to do. He aired his grievances, and now I'm depressed because now I remember all that stuff that happened. And yeah, as a West Virginia fan, it really makes you think, you know, had West Virginia made that one decision to pony up the dough and pay the assistants, you know, maybe we would have finally won a national championship because we had, oh my gosh, we had the talent, we had the coaching staff. Yeah, we came up one game short in 2007, but we had the sustainability to get back there more often instead of, well, once every 20 years you'll have a chance. Can you make it? Can you make it count? And of course, it's very, very difficult to make it count if you can only get there once every 20, 25 years. So it's getting there over and over and over and over and over, like Alabama does. Alabama's won, 7 in the past, or maybe 6 in the past 14, 15 years. But how many times have they actually been to the playoffs? That's why they won so many, because they've been there that many times. And that's why I said earlier, you know, Alabama fans, the disappointment has to hit them harder than the joy of winning a natty, because they get there so many times. The expectations are so high that when they don't win it, it's like, oh, this is a big letdown. But when they do win it, it's like, all right, great, we won it. Expectations, let's do it again next year. That was my point with the Alabama thing. It wasn't trash talking. It was just trying to figure out the mindset. All right, guys, I'm going to get off here. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. If you haven't checked out the revamped Patreon page, go check it out. We have a much wider selection of things to choose from. We have the $2 package if you only want a little bit of gold and blued, but we also have a bigger package, the $50 package if you want everything, like personal access to me. So check it out, see what you think, and choose wisely. All right, guys, I'm going to go off here. Appreciate your support. Hope y'all had a good time. We'll be back Monday, so just a one-day break. Quick turnaround. We'll be back on Monday with another live show. I don't know if it'll be a call-in or not, but Saturday's definitely a call-in. From now on, Saturdays. But we will be back live 7 p.m. Monday evening. So have a good rest of your weekend, and I'm going to get out of here and let y'all